Hello there, welcome to Business Live. I'm Charles Ayete. Here's what's coming up in the next 30 minutes. As we celebrate the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day, we take a look at some of the trade and economic policies that he proposed that remain relevant in our time.
We must begin to build immediately our own continental common market. For it is easy for anyone who studies the Common Market Organization closely to realize that the common market is aimed at harnessing the African countries to satisfy the profit loss of the imperialist bloc.
We shall revisit Nkrumah's dream, especially as a trade expert called for member states to consolidate in making a continental free trade agreement a success. Also, Ghanaian travelers who are fully vaccinated with a verified COVID-19 card can now travel to France. We'll hear from the French ambassador to Ghana, who also sounds the alarm on the rise of visa fraudsters across embassies. And later, we'll make one leave a well-paid job in the United Kingdom to start a solar panel installation venture in Ghana. We'll tell you a story of a Ghanaian who left the UK after staying there for 20 years. We have all these stories coming up shortly after this break. Just stay. And now to our first story. Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, entreated Africans to consider a common African market or risk what he termed the invasion of the continent's market by European goods. Some 60 years later, with the political unification of the continent still a distant prospect, efforts to launch the continental free trade have so far been successful. With a $3.4 trillion market, the words of Dr. Nkrumah still resonates with drafters of this common market. Take a listen to Dr. Nkrumah addressing an African assembly some 64 years ago.
We must begin to build immediately our own continental common market. For it is easy for anyone who studies the Common Market Organization closely to realize that the common market is aimed at harnessing the African countries to satisfy the profit loss of the imperialist bloc and to prevent us from following an independent neutralist policy. It is easy to see that the imperialists and the colonialists are determined to retain the African countries in the position of suppliers of cheap raw materials. If we do not resist this threat, and if we throw in our lot with the common market, we shall doom the economy of Africa to a state of perpetual subjection to the economy of Western Europe. This will, of course, hinder the industrialization of our young African states. It is impossible to think of economic development and national independence without possessing an unfettered capacity for maintaining a strong industrial power. The activities of the common market are therefore fraught with dangerous political and economic consequences for the independent African states. The organization constitutes an attempt to replace the old system of colonial exploitation by a new system of collective colonialism, which will be stronger and more dangerous than the old evils we are striving to liquidate from our continent. This is another reason why we should come together in a unified African economic plan, which, operating on a continental scale, can make a solid attack on the imperialist domination in Africa. We should, without delay, aim at the creation of a joint African military command. There is little wisdom in our present separate effort to build up and maintain defense forces, which, in any case, would be ineffective in a major world conflict. If we examine this problem realistically, we would ask, which single African state could protect itself against an imperialist aggressor? And how much more difficult this would be when some states allowing the imperialists to maintain bases on their territories.
Let's now hear from the Executive Secretary of the Ghana International Trade Commission, Frank Ejukum, who called for a consolidation of efforts by member states to ensure that the Continental Free Trade Agreement area is much successful. He spoke earlier on the marketplace.
Well, I believe on the onset, what we should look at is how we're able to integrate our markets and economic systems to ensure that we are fully integrated in terms of safe trading practices. I'm afraid it's an art of trading. Don't forget that trading and economic prices are in some cases war. The stronger powers and whoever has a way will try as much as possible to find a way to undercut the other. For us as a country and us as a continent, what we need to do is for us to be aware and awake to some of these things and make sure that we stem them wherever it is. To ask that African countries all of a sudden begin to engage in very safe practices in terms of trading is difficult. Even though that is desirable, the important thing for us to do is to have the watchdog, as we have it here in Ghana, the Ghana International Trade Commission, which really is there to check on some of these unsafe trade practices.
All right.
Don't forget that even between Europe and America, there are still unfair trade practices going on. And we know that between America and China, it's almost a daily affair between China and Australia, between Europe, and so it's all over. It's a way that people will use to try and maximize their profits and make sure that the receiving country does not gain as much as possible. So we in Ghana, it's good we have the International Trade Commission going, which is set up to foresee and to forestall some of these things in order to make sure that our nascent industries are able to grow and to be able to compete on an even keel with their foreign counterparts. Don't forget that liberal trade does not mean unsafe trade, and unsafe trade means that we should be able to protect our own and make sure that our own is able to survive for our own good.
Away from that, the cost of living and doing business in the country could be going up in the coming months. It follows the recent increase in fuel prices on the market. But is there anything that can be done to better manage the situation? We have more in this report. Fuel prices have gone up by more than 2% per litre over the past week. This is in line with recent development on the international market that has seen prices of finished petroleum products go up. But most market watchers say the development could affect transport fares, especially for those that are not under or part of unionized operators in the country. This could lead to prices of foodstuff going up on the market. The Ghana Statistical Service recently cited recent increases in fuel prices, foodstuffs, as one of the reasons that contributed to inflation rate hitting 9.7% for the month of August. The adjustment could also lead to an increase in the cost of doing business, which may end with most of these firms passing on the cost to consumers. If the current development is not managed well, that could see inflation rate go up, a move that may also affect your investments and even cost of credit in the country. We, however, are not sure whether that may force the Bank of Ghana to hold or increase the policy rate, which currently stands at 13.5%, a move that could help check the rising inflation in the country. It's still on Business Live. What will make one leave a well-paid job in the United Kingdom to start a solar panel installation venture in Ghana? For Nazir Ali, who has lived in Europe for 20 years, a successful life goes beyond an individual's achievement. Helping Ghana grow its power supply needs is one of the legacies he wants to be remembered for. JoyNews Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin engaged Nazir during one of his installation exercises at Old Tafo in the Ashanti region and has come through with this report.
And my name is Nazir Ali Chelenon. I have lived in Germany for over 9 years, where I did electrical engineering and also worked in different sectors within the German setup, including NXP, which is sister company to Philips. Did some kind of electronics there and moved to the UK, where I studied radiotherapy and oncology and worked in different hospitals.
Nazir Ali is a German-trained electrical engineer. But as the saying goes, you never know what you have until you abandon it. So Nazir did.
Basically, I'm a trained electrical engineer in Germany way back about. I abandoned this because I thought it was a dirty job.
In 2010, Nazir left Germany for London to study radiotherapy and oncology at City University London. He was then employed at Pole Hospital NHS Trust in Dorset and Simulating Hospital in Swansea, Wales, where he treated cancer patients for over 6 years.
And worked in different hospitals, which is the NHS, the National Health Service, that's in the UK setup. Treated different cancer patients, from brain to head and neck to chest, including like different cancers of the thoracic area, lung cancers, then the stomach cancers and prostate and all that, the gynaes. That has taken me over 11 years, so a minimum of 20 years abroad.
But while visiting Ghana, Nazir rethought the greatest challenge facing Ghana is power supply, and so he had to return to his engineering profession. Nazir returned to Ghana in 2020 to start his solar installation business with just £10,000.
I realized that power is basically what we need. Nothing moves around the world without power. So having this background knowledge in solar energy, I decided to build this on an own property because of the power shortages and fluctuations in Ghana.
Though he is yet to make profit, Nazir believes things will improve over time.
On the average, we get about 7-8 requests, and we end up having like 2 or 3 being serious about it. Why is this the case? The problem is that the initial cost is always very high for many people.
I asked why he left his lucrative job in the UK to install solar panels in Ghana.
Why this and why not in the hospital? I thought working in the hospital in the UK, there are a lot of colleagues who would do this without me. But in this solar, Ghana is lacking a lot of technicians. And this is one of our, part of our responsibility, that when you go outside and you learn something, you need to come back and make it useful to the Ghanaian community.
I asked again about the capacity of the facility.
It all depends the capacity, because we have a 1 kilowatt system, 2 kilowatt, 3 kilowatts, 5 kilowatt and 10 kilowatt systems. We have recently installed the 10 kilowatt system in Accra, and it's in the range of about $15,000, which will be huge for some people, but you are talking about 30 years without thinking of any power shortages or any expenditure on energy.
Nazir has some challenges.
Being at the roof is one of the challenges, a big one. Another challenge is that each roof is different. You cannot plan ahead. And the sizes of the panel, each has got its different dimensions. So you have to plan, come on top, take measurements. Meanwhile, you'll be fighting against the slope.
Impressive. Away from that, Ghanaian travelers who are fully vaccinated with a verified COVID-19 card can now travel to France. We hear from the French ambassador to Ghana, who also sounds the alarm on the rise of visa fraudsters across various embassies in the country.
Yes, you can travel to France. If you are fully vaccinated and you have a card with a QR code, then you can travel to France with just a visa and this card. If you are not fully vaccinated, then you still need a laissez-passer, which is you need to present a compelling reason, and a really compelling reason to travel. Then you explain, you give the documents to explain this compelling reason, and then the decision is made in France and sent back to us whether they consider it is a serious enough compelling reason to travel. And then you will need a PCR test less than 32 hours to be able to go to France. There's no quarantine, I should think, or is it? I can't remember, because the rules are changing regularly, so there can be a quarantine, but I think it's a self-quarantine. But ideally, being vaccinated really helps. Then when it comes to visas, of course, people haven't traveled for almost 18 months, so they have delayed their task, whatever they had to do, and they had business to do in France, and now everyone is rushing for visas, so we're a bit overwhelmed, and there's a big delay because I mean, we are just humans, so we cannot welcome more than 30, 40 people to do our job properly every day, to take the documents and then process them back in France, and then print the visas, call them back. So it's a big process.
So when can we see most of these backlog, filled out?
Oh, I think now that it has started, and probably thanks or because of Touch of France, that has created an appetite for France, we will have every year 7,000 to 10,000 people who will want to travel, and that's a good thing. But wherever you go, when there's a visa, you have to know that there might be some delays. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to recall that the only way to apply for a visa is online on france-visas.gouv.fr. If you don't write it down, go to the French Embassy, Google French Embassy in Ghana, and then you will find the link to this very website. That's the only place you apply for a visa.
And of course, you're making this announcement in the back of increased, visa fraudsters around, around the country. How much of this is a concern to you, especially when we're having cases with the Schengen visa?
We have cases every day. Every day. We have two types. Some people who have been unfortunately trapped by an agency who said, don't worry, I will organize the visa for you. And they provide false documents, and then when they arrive here, we look at the documents. We work closely with the Ghana police and Ghana immigration, and we say, I'm awfully sorry, but your bank statement is false, or your insurance is false, and we have to deny it. And because it's a Schengen visa, it's worth for 26 countries. But of course, the 26 countries are connected. So when you are denied in one embassy, you will be denied everywhere. So don't try that. Don't go for agencies. Go apply online, and it's free. The application is free. So do it online, and then respect very scrupulously the documents that are requested. Then you will be called for an appointment. The appointment is to be made through VFS. Okay. This is our partner. Every year we do a call for tender, and we take the best with the best price, because the ones who will charge the least to organize the appointments, so that people don't pile up in front of the embassy and wait until the rain and eventually said, sorry, we're closed. So they organize the appointments so that people come to the appointments, because we need to take your fingerprints and to take your documents. And then everything goes into the machine and it's processed back in France, and France gives the go or no go. When we receive the agreement, it unlocks the printing of the visa, and so we print the visa, stick it on your passport, call you to come and pick it up.
The French ambassador to Ghana there. Away from that, President of the Project Management Institute Ghana, Jumoke Lafenwa, believes project management can help organizations maximize productivity and lower operational costs. Speaking during the Institute's Fund Games mark its 10th anniversary, she decried the low awareness of project management in Ghana as one of the key challenges they're faced with.
As part of the 10th anniversary celebrations of the Project Management Institute Ghana, It has organized a health walk and fun games for its members. According to them, this is to create a platform for them to network and also keep fit in preparation for the other celebrations that are going to come through. Now let's talk to some of the executives about the 10th anniversary and how far they've come as an institute. So I'm here with Jumoke Lafenwa, and she's the president of the Project Management Institute. First of all, can you tell us about the institute and what you stand for?
Now, PMI Ghana chapter has been in Ghana for 10 years. We got chartered in 2011. We started with a membership of just about 70. Now we are 830, and we have 534 PMP certified. We have come a long way because it's difficult for people to understand that not everybody, you cannot just manage projects by getting up to manage projects. You require special skills for you to be able to manage projects. And that is what we do. We try to equip our members, our volunteers, I'm a volunteer, to be able to apply some of these project management skills in managing their project, thereby increasing the probability of project success and cutting down on time and cost overrun. We have grown in terms of numbers, in terms of membership, in terms of project successes that we are checking. And so we felt that this is a milestone, the 10th anniversary. We are celebrating at the same time, giving back to the society, at the same time having fun and being mindful of our health.
Why should anyone be part of PMI?
You should be part because then, one, you belong to the largest project management community worldwide. You'll be able to network. The beauty of PMI is we are a mix of different professionals. So when you come, you meet an engineer, you meet architects, you meet lecturers, you meet medical doctors, lawyers, military men, and all that. So it's a very rich mix. And once you are a member, you are equipped to be able to manage projects well. You have access to templates, you have access to resources of volunteers. You know the trends that would help you manage your projects well. Organizations will benefit because then your staff are managing projects, they are knowledgeable, they are able to save money, and they're able to deliver. They are able to, like what happened with COVID, they are able to turn around quickly when there are changes and your projects will not be affected.
All right, so what are some of the challenges that you faced in your line of duty?
Basically, project management has been there, but it's not a lot of people, or should I say a lot of organizations are aware of the benefit they can derive from project management. Because most people know that there is project management. But what is project management? It's not about hearing a country's name like Ghana. But if you come to Ghana and you explore the township of Ghana, you will know that this is Ghana.
Now, the study of science and technology remains one of a key challenge for various industries and, of course, been heavily encouraged among young people in basic schools in Ghana. It is in this light that Dream Oval and founder Vine have organized a Ghana Science Tech Challenge to offer training and mentorship to young people in the skills development. My colleague was at the launch of the Youth Steering Group and comes through with this report.
The Ghana Science Technology Challenge Prize is a skill development program that has been put together by Founder Vine and Dream Oval Foundation to help young people develop skills in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now, today they are launching the Youth Steering Group for young people who will serve as ambassadors for the project. These young people will be mentored and taken through skill development programs that will shape their thinking and shape their interest and talent to be able to create things that they think could solve real-life problems in their societies.
The GSTEP program, we are proud to be supported by the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service, who recognize the importance of STEM education in Ghana. Today we heard the minister's address where he told us about the importance of STEM in Ghana. He said that even his daughter is learning how to code at the moment. So STEM is really important, and the GSTEP program, the Ghana Science and Technology Prize, has the opportunity, will give the opportunity to many young Ghanaians to learn what it takes to be a future digital leader.
GSTEP is a 3-year project being funded by Foundation Botner from Switzerland. So it's going to run for the next 3 years. The year 1, which is 2021, is focused on research and scoping. And the idea behind that is to understand the concept about STEM in this country, because the children that you are going to that are going to benefit from this program, we need even to understand their mindset.
And of course, that's how we close the chapter on this edition of Business Live with me, Charles Ayatip. For more news, you log on to myjoyonline.com. Many thanks once again for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs.
Hello, I'm Dori Nando. You can catch up with all the fun on the Cosmopolitan Mix and on all our shows via podcast. Just go to My Joy Online podcast and search for your favorite show and relive those moments all over again. Only on Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Super Hits Radio, Joy 99.7.
Up close on Reason is Jesus. My name is P.P. Fulton, the Christocentric.